Hi everyone, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist and an intuitive that connects with the angelic energy. This is your weekly reading where we talk all about what's happening in the collective energy, the energy that impacts each and every one of us. Why is this important? This is important because this impacts us. This is essentially a look at how are we interacting with the world around us and how is the energy around us going to impact our day, our week. And when we have an understanding of that, it gives us an understanding of how we can best navigate it, how we can master the energy and in the long run, master our lives simply by using the energies for the good parts of it or not falling into the pitfalls of the more challenging aspects of the energy. So that's what this reading is all about. I talk about the channeled messages, what came through, what I connected with, what I'm feeling in this energy, and then we will pull some tarot cards. So we will build upon those messages using the tarot cards to connect with whatever else you guys need to know in order to master your week and navigate this energy that we have going on. So how's everybody feeling? Now we're still here in Mercury retrograde. I think a lot of people are noticing that, are feeling that. I feel like I need to it's funny because I don't typically feel like I need to remind people that we're still in Mercury retrograde, right? But I think that we felt on the other side of that eclipse such a powerful shift, such a powerful reset that in some ways maybe we've forgotten that we're still in Mercury retrograde. And so we are still in this energy until the 25th. This is a time when we are being called to reflect, to redo things, to take a look at where do I need a redo on something? Where do I need to adjust something, do some work on something? Where am I needing to heal certain things within my world? You're going to be shown that during Mercury retrograde. What's left for me to heal? What's left for me to work on? And we're always working on ourselves, right? Ideally, we're always working and growing and learning and changing. And so Mercury retrograde gives us those tools in order to be able to do that. So if we use it for that, it can be really magical. I also feel very strongly with this particular Mercury retrograde that there's a strong reimagine aspect to that, right? So a little bit of a dreamy energy with it where it's like taking some time to reflect on, okay, where do I want things to go now? And I think that we've been shown in some ways in this energy some things that are possible for us. Some really beautiful blessings that can come in for us. Even if that hasn't quite happened yet, I think that we're getting a sense of that coming in, or we're seeing indications of beautiful things that are coming in. Lots of things are developing now in this time. There's a lot of divine timing that's happening. There's a lot of things moving forward. And so I think also in this energy, it gives us this chance to take that step back and say, how am I feeling called to reimagine this? Maybe I need to make some adjustments to the vision so that it's a better fit for where I'm at now in my world. And you might even be surprised by how you're reimagining things that you thought you wanted even just a week ago. So taking this time to go within, to listen, to honor what it is that our soul is telling us is really going to serve us very well. I also have felt like with that eclipse portal, I still feel like that energy with us. So that hasn't quite closed out yet as much as we felt a big shift with that eclipse. Let me know in the comments if you guys were able to feel that shift. I felt like with that eclipse, like it wiped the slate clean with a lot of things, that it healed a lot of things from the past, that it has allowed us to step forward into new chapters in our life, right? Like it really is allowing us to turn the page and step into new beginnings and to really lean into different phases of our lives. And so I felt that, and I feel that. I think that we're kind of starting to see that here in this energy. But I also feel like part of that eclipse energy was very strongly tied to our mindset, to how we perceived things, to how we see the world. and calling for us to allow for the shifts that are wanting to happen. Essentially, I think that it's showing us where we can no longer afford to think the way that we think about certain things, or to obsess the way that we obsess about certain things, or to see it from a particular perspective. And so there's this call to see things from different perspectives, to do things in a different way, to adjust our mindset around things so that we're seeing that in a way that serves us now, right? What are the stories that you're telling yourself, and where do you need to make changes around that? What thoughts are requiring adjustment in order to set you up for success? So we're still in that energy of allowing our mindset, allowing our thoughts to be adjusted, and kind of as a subset of that energy, working on releasing fears, right? Because whenever we're working on mindset, there's always fear that's connected with that, right? Whenever we are trying to improve mindset, we're working on releasing fear. So where are you being called to work on releasing fear? And a lot of times I found that when we're working on releasing fear, it's pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone. It's doing things that intimidate us, that scare us a little bit, but we do them anyway. And so it's kind of one foot in front of the other, taking those steps where eventually we recognize, wow, I don't feel the same fear around that I once did, because I pushed myself and I moved myself up and out of that energy, and I didn't allow that fear to keep me stuck. And that is so important. This energy is to not allow the fear to keep us stuck, to keep us held back. We want to allow for this expansion that has been wanting to happen, that is wanting to happen. I have been talking for a little while about ease and how important it is that we're choosing to tune into ease. And last week I talked a lot about peace. And peace and ease are going to be big themes for quite a while. We're going to be working on this for quite a while, because there are these energies now that are coming into our lives that are really supporting us and really allowing us to shift into a time where there can be more ease. Last week I was talking about how we're walking away from the battlefield and we are stepping into something better, right? But we have to be willing to leave the battlefield behind. We have to be willing to step away from the conflict, from the drama, from the old habits and patterns that we thought felt good to us at one time, but now we're recognizing aren't serving us anymore. And there has to be that willingness to let go of always needing to be in the mix of this drama and this conflict and the gossip and all of that stuff. So that's an important piece of this energy. And what we're stepping into is peace and ease. And this call for us to do that. I think in any energy that we have available, there's several different levels of energy that is available for us to tune into. And so I see it kind of like a radio dial, right? What energy are you choosing to tune into? So if we can consciously, always, but especially this week as a tool, imagine in our minds that radio dial and envision ourselves making that adjustment to get our frequency to a place of peace and ease. You might even see it in your mind, like, you know how sometimes on the radio, the name of the station is on there, right? So you might see it say ease, you might see it say peace in your mind. And so whenever you find yourself changing the channel on that, I want to encourage you to keep coming back to that. I think this is going to be a really nice way for us to stay in flow with this, because here's what's happening with this energy. On the other side of that eclipse, we started a new chapter. We started a new beginning. We got a fresh start in different areas of our lives. And we want to take advantage of this energy. What we want to do is we want to build something really incredible for our future from this energy. So the image that I got when I was connecting with this was literally like energy being building blocks and creating the foundation for this chapter from the energy that we are entertaining, that we are feeding, that we are allowing in our experience. And so, what energy do you want to build your future with? I think we have a powerful opportunity here for us to create a momentum around ease, around peace, and around love. And ultimately, if we're choosing to tune into those energies as consistently as possible, this becomes the base that we're building our future on. And when this becomes the base that we're building our future on, we are creating something really solid, really stable, but also something that's different from how we did things in the past, because we get to skip the struggle. We get to create an experience in our life that we can build upon and build upon and build upon, that's more peaceful, that's easier. And so as we're doing this, as we're intentionally choosing ease and peace as often as possible and letting it be easier, right? I really strongly encourage all of us to take that step back and be conscious on a regular basis and say, how can I make this easier? How can I choose a more peaceful response to this situation? How can I choose a more peaceful mindset around this situation? Where am I making assumptions that are not contributing to my peace? Where am I making assumptions that are not contributing to ease in my life? So can I change those stories so that I can set myself free? This is all about setting ourselves free. This is all about changing this. And I think that we will have, we're still in Mercury retrograde. We're still on Earth. And so we're still going to have challenges that are coming up for us because we're learning and we're growing and we're developing. And that's part of what we're here to do. So we still want that. But as the challenges arise, as these circumstances arise, we have an opportunity here. And can we treat it like an opportunity? We have an opportunity here to decide, what is the energy that I want to build my future on? How am I going to approach this? What is the mindset that I want to approach this from? What is the energy that I want to approach this from? And consciously choosing that again and again and again, tuning our radio dial back to ease and back to peace. And part of that process is inviting God, the universe, whatever that is for you, into the process and saying, help to support me with this. Help to make this easier. Help to make this process as easy as possible. We also have to be mindful of where circumstances are coming up that have the opportunity to rob us of our peace, that we are responding in such a way that we are protecting our peace. And that might be the harder choice, that might be the harder option in this moment, but we want to think about, like, what is going to protect my peace for the long term? What is going to help me to feel my absolute best for the long term? So we might have some hard choices to make in this energy as we are shaping out that future. What do you want the future to look like? And what choices do we need to be making now that are creating the building blocks for that? Can we choose to step into our power? This is this energy and the trajectory of where this energy is going. If we ride this wave, if we stay in this water that is carrying us where we need to go, where it's carrying us to is self-actualization, becoming the best version of ourselves. But that's going to require, like, choosing what energy we're tuning into and what energies we're allowing. And that's work, right? To just change that's work, especially if we're used to being stuck in old ways and old habits. So choosing, how are we going to respond from this point forward? I think that to take a pause before we respond is a really good way to start to change the way that we're responding to circumstances. If you're letting somebody trigger you, if you're letting somebody get you angry, get you anxious, make you feel shitty about yourself, whatever that is, you have power in that choice. You have power in that response. How are you going to respond? Are you going to keep interacting with the drama? Are you going to keep the cycle going? Or are you going to step away from it and disconnect from that particular dynamic, from that particular thing? How are you going to respond in a way that's going to create the building blocks for your future. Because either way, you're creating the building blocks for your future. So what do you want that to be? Do you want that to be a solid, stable, secure, peaceful, easy foundation that you feel good about? Or do you want it to be something that probably is going to have to be like, is going to come crumbling down because it hasn't been built in a way that's solid, that it hasn't been built in a way that is going to sustain the kind of future that you want to have in your life. So definitely something to be thinking about in this energy. We've got choices to make, right? We've got choices to make. And it's a choice. There are always these energies that we can choose to tune into. And I'm not saying this is easy, because I think that we have all kinds of options available to us. We have habits with our thoughts, with our thinking. You know, I have stuff that even just this week is, if I chose to allow it, is quite frankly pretty terrifying. I have something going on that's like pretty scary for me in my world. And if I chose to just sit in that energy and I chose to create from that energy, I don't think that things would work out very well. I'm choosing to flow. I'm choosing to let myself be led. I'm choosing to let God show me the way with it, and we'll see what comes, right? There's no value in me worrying about it. There's no value in me staying stuck in the energy and not living my life. I think we have to be living right now. I think we have to be laughing right now. We need so much more laughter. That's going to be the key with ease too, is just that laughter. When's the last time you laughed? I've been laughing a lot lately because I choose it. That's what I choose, right? We take ourselves far too seriously, and we take this world far too seriously. I understand there are serious things in this world, so don't come at me in comments. That's not what I mean. However, if we stay in that energy, what value is in it for us? And you might find like there's old stuff coming up. You know, I see old stuff coming up a little bit in these cards. You might find there's old stuff. We're in Mercury retrograde. Old stuff comes up, right? It's an opportunity to address it in some way. What do I need to do? You know, I can tell you like the stuff that I have going on, I know has everything to do with my healing and where I'm going forward. So it's like, there's just stuff that I need to address. And I know it, and I'm being shown it, right? What are you being shown right now? One more card. Let's see what we got here. And how are you guys doing? How is this Mercury retrograde treating you? Do you feel that, like that clearing that came with the eclipse? And are you noticing shifts within yourself? I think it was such a powerful shift. So the first card out, the Empress, right? This is beautiful. Beautiful energy. The Empress is the epitome of ease, because she knows that she's already planted the seeds. She's already put the work in. She's worked on herself. She's allowed that process. She is the queen of the four queens, right? So she's been learning lessons left and right. And she's taken the lessons and she's learned from them and she's grown from them. So rather than become a victim of them, she decided, let me learn, let me grow, let me develop myself, let me become better in spite of the things that I've been through. Because of the things that I've been through, I have learned so much. I have done so much work. I have developed so much. And now here I am in this position of power. Understanding my worth, understanding my value, understanding that I am so taken care of by the universe that it's ridiculous. So she chooses to be easy. Look how comfortable she looks. She chooses to get comfortable and to let it come to her. She does not chase, she attracts. Where are you in a position where you're chasing rather than attracting, where you're forcing rather than flowing? Let it flow. Let it come to you. Trust the work that you have put in. And if there's still work, of course, there's always still work that we're doing on ourselves, but where can you learn a lesson in this? Where can you let it support your expansion rather than your mindset around the ways that, you know, that nothing isn't working out for you? Everything is always working out for us. Can we honor that mindset and let it come to us? The Empress is the magnet, right? She is the magnet. She is magnetizing to her the things that she wants to create here in this world, and she knows her power, and she knows that she can call that in, and she works with the forces of the universe to allow for that. So maybe right now we're definitely being called to still rest a little bit in this energy. Take action where you need to take action, of course, but rest and let some of this stuff come to you. Let it be easy. Let it be peaceful. 3 of Pentacles, pretty sure I pulled this last week too. The call for us to allow help, to work together with other people. You might be thinking about some collaborations here in this energy, right? Part of how I think we're thinking about, I think part of what we're doing is thinking about, how can I do this in a different way? How can I do this in a better way? Or where am I feeling called to do this in a better way? And part of that answer very well may be in this energy to collaborate or to allow help or to get advice from people who have a sense of what this is, and maybe we're working together with people to create some kind of a finished product or to create something, right? So where are you feeling called to collaborate with other people and work together with other people with some kind of a shared goal? Or if it's not that, maybe it's just like, again, allowing people to help you, allowing people to support you. This is a lesson that I'm always learning because it's not always the thing that I do best. I'm a Taurus. We're a little bit stubborn that way, but I'm learning that a little bit at a time, and where it can be great to allow people in and allow people to support you and allow people to help you with the things that you're working on, and it actually can create something that's even better than you would do on your own. But speaking of on your own, the 9 of Pentacles. Wow, this is like such an independent energy, but collaborative at the same time. The Empress is pretty independent as well, right? But this is somebody who also knows where they need to be independent, right? So we're working together with people, but also where do we need to be more independent? Where do we need to do it ourselves? Right? Where would it feel good for us to do it ourselves, to be successful with something? I really feel like with this energy, let me find the words with it. It's like there's this call to get started with something that we've been envisioning for a while, but our mindset has kept us held back from. And this is saying it's time to step into that. And nobody can do it but you, is the energy that I'm getting. Nobody can do it but you. And where are you being called to serve here in this world? Where are you being called to offer something that nobody else can do? And also remembering that nobody else can do this for you in terms of like moving the energy forward. You've got to do it. You've got to make that choice. You've got to shift that mindset. You've got to take that step, whatever that is. But if you can listen to your intuition and you can take that step, absolute success. Abundance. I mean, the Empress is incredibly abundant. We have 2 Pentacles back to back. What an abundant energy. I think there's a lot of blessings in this based on the choices that we're making. What energy do you want to build your future from? And the 9 of Pentacles, she's creating a really incredible future for herself where she is not only taken care of, but she can also take care of other people. She has the extra energy to give. She has the extra money to give. So whatever it is that you're thinking about creating here in this world, especially if it's coming through here in this energy, I think there's a lot of room for success around that. Maybe you've already taken the steps. Maybe you've already laid the foundation for that. And now we just need to let it develop and let it happen and let ourselves be guided and keep pushing ourselves through the fear that wants to keep us stuck, that wants to keep us held back. The 8 of Cups in reverse. We might be circling back on some things, on some ideas, on some opportunities from the past is an energy that I get. We might be circling back on some relationships from the past. And it might not necessarily be that you're revisiting that with the intention of, you know, reconnecting in a friendship or getting back together in a romantic relationship. It may not be that, but there's an opportunity for healing that can happen. So that might be going backward in terms of having a conversation that's really healing. It might be going backward in terms of just like revisiting it in your mind. Are you finding yourself reflecting back and thinking about things? And maybe that's where we're rewriting some stories. Right? What did I tell myself back then that I now see wasn't true? That I now see wasn't fair to me? The Empress and the 9 of Pentacles, there's like such a confidence. There's such a knowing their worth, knowing their value. And now that we know our value more, where do we need to write some of those stories that we told ourselves in the past? And it'll come up naturally for you. Like these thoughts will pop up and you'll be like, okay, now I need to deal with this thing that's coming up, and where do I need to rewrite the story? That story that I'm telling myself about that doesn't feel good. And now that I see things from different perspectives, can I bring in this newer story that feels better, that honors myself better, that is more true, is more connected to my truth now? 6 of Wands, victory, right? I see us really coming out of this energy, feeling very victorious, feeling like we've learned, we've grown, we've developed. We aren't the same people that we were before that eclipse portal opened back in March. We just aren't. Recognize how you've grown, how you've developed. This is a great time to reflect on that and to see that and to give yourself props for doing that, right? And the ways that we've developed and the ways that we've grown, and also to do that for other people. I think we could all use a little bit more kindness right now, a little bit more celebrating ourselves, celebrating each other, and celebrating the growth that has happened for all of us. Let me know how you've grown. Feel free to send me a message. I will cheer for you all day, because I'm here for the growth. I'm here for watching you guys progress, and I love to hear it. I love to hear your magic. I love to hear the ways that you've grown. And the last card that we have here, 5 of Wands. Yeah, this is us, as I was saying last week, choosing to leave the battlefield, choosing to step away from drama that we now recognize is totally unnecessary, to walk away from behaviors that just don't make us feel good, that leave us with that feeling of ick, right? To take better care of ourselves is what I'm hearing in my mind right now. To not engage in battles that don't serve us, right? You want to choose your battles. And right now, I don't think we want to be having very many battles at all, unless it's really, really important to us, right? Is it worth fighting for? Or are you just caught up in the battle because this is just a battle that you've been having for a long time? Is this a battle with yourself? Is this a battle with somebody else? Is this a battle with a situation? Where is it time to walk away from that so that we set ourselves free? So, wow, lots of stuff going on here. Lots of growth, lots of development. Let it be peaceful. Let it be easy. Let it be light. Let it be love. And keep tuning into that energy. It is available to each and every one of us if we choose it. This is bringing us into the best version of ourselves. So let it lead you there. All right, guys, thank you so much. Let me know if you made it all the way through. I always love to hear from you in comments. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that, shoot me a comment. Share this with whoever you think needs to hear these messages, and I will see you guys soon with another video. Take care.